And we're live, bro. Say hi to the Asvorians.
Yo, what's up? Oh, sorry. How's it going, everybody?
How goes it? I see Cryptic Crypto in the chat. How goes it? A username I cannot enunciate. How goes it? Hello to you. I don't know why I love this project. I know why you love it. It's Web3, and Web3 is inevitably the future. That is why. You love the future, you love Web3, you love Asvoria. It's all reciprocal. Um, I guess we're gonna just give it a couple seconds, make sure everything's working. It looks good on my end. If you're watching the live stream, hello. He said hello, Keen. I like that. Two E's, not two N's. I like that. Is everything sound good?
Nice.
Crypto Shorts. How's the audio? How's the video? Is there any like buffering? It's our first live stream.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, we need to know how everything looks moving forward. I know the brightness is a little high right now. I'm going to try to fix that on the next one. But just let me know more so about the audio quality. I guess we could jump into the intro so you can know a little bit more about us as these podcasts go forward here on Asvoria. I'll let Miggy introduce himself first. He's been in this space longer than me, so respect your elders, the OGs. Miggy, I guess let him know a little bit about how when you got into crypto, how you got into crypto, and a little bit about the stuff that you've done up until now.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Mickey Crypto here. I appreciate you, Ken. Definitely got much love for you, man. So I got started back in 2011, 2012 in the big Bitcoin era when we were all maxing out on Bitcoin because there really wasn't much else. I just spent a lot of time helping build communities and teach people and learn as I went along until I went and found out about NFTs. Funny enough, got connected with this guy here, Kenn Bosak, got plugged into his Telegram community, learned about wax NFTs, and learning from him, I was able to curate art for artists, help a lot of people, get plugged into the space, make their own collections, sell their own NFTs, which eventually led me to working for companies, doing some advising work, brand ambassador work, which I'm doing now for Asvoria, and also, getting to travel to events and talk about crypto and Web3 and, also play a lot of cool games too. So it's been quite a journey, and that's pretty much, my Web3 experience in a nutshell, but that's me.
That's a pretty nice nutshell. I'm Kenn Bosak, guys. I've been in this space since 2016. Kind of got into crypto in like 2015. Got into the space though, like podcasting, making content in 2016. That's when I decided to make a Twitter account, and I actually was like, I'm just gonna use Facebook, right? And then I got into crypto, and I was like, well, all these Facebook people don't like know crypto, so I went to Twitter, and that's where like all crypto people were in 2016. Started going to actually, let me start at the beginning there. So I kind of went like all in. I sold everything in 2016 for Bitcoin, quit my day job, and started traveling the world, going to conferences, speaking, doing panels, hosting different things at different events. Me and Miggy, we were at a conference in Miami. We ended up taking over a hotel, strictly illegal, but we went on meetups.com and we were like, meet us at this pool at the top of this hotel. And there was a conference going on at a totally different hotel, and we got a whole bunch of those people to go to a different hotel to go on to the roof to meet us at a pool party. And security was cool with it. After we started spending money at the bar, it was like pizza, beer, and we even had a sponsor cover things. It was awesome. And then I've hosted many events in Canada, even the United States, and most recently Shitcoin, which is another conference that started with the community. We were at an event also in Miami, and Bitcoin, the maximalist event, was uninviting people, so I took that pretty personal. There was a lot of my friends in the space that dabbled in shitcoins, right? So we decided to make our own conference right down the street from Bitcoin, and for the past 3 years, we've done Shitcoin Conference, which is a direct troll to maximalism. I don't agree with maximalism at all. The ideology behind it is dangerous. We need to stay more open-minded as a society, especially when it comes to technology. We cannot treat technology like religion. I know it's something you can believe in, but I can touch it and use it, and it's real. So it's a lot more dangerous, when you start to make it a belief system. And then, I've worked with a lot of projects throughout the space as an advisor, a consultant. Probably been to over 300 conferences since 2016 when it comes to crypto, blockchain, fintech, NFTs, or money. Been to Money 2020 and stuff, so it's not just all crypto events. And I launched an NFT project on Wax, which raised about $2 million. I split the revenue with my artist 50-50. So I made about $1 million. My artists, a bunch of them split up, to gather together. They also made about $1 million. And then my community on the secondary market hit about $900,000 in secondary market sales. So I made about $1 million, my artists made about $1 million, and my community made about $1 million. So there's about $3 million in the NFT collection I did on Wax. Unfortunately, I had a lot of family losses during the pandemic, COVID and lockdown and everything. Got into a pretty toxic relationship, like some people may be able to relate to. That didn't help any, just added to the stress. So I took some time off from this space. And Russ, who's also on the team, has reached out to me and actually got me to look into Asvoria because he was really excited about it. I got excited about it, and I kind of got a fire back under me to come back into the space and do work again, simply because of how excited I was about Asvoria when Russ showed it to me. And he saw that energy, was just like, wow, like, yeah, I'm into Web3, like, I'm into this. I was lucky enough that Russ got me a meeting with Nico, who I've known for years, and ended up getting a gig as the brand ambassador as well. It's been a long run. I know I talked a lot here, but I probably only touched on 5% of the stuff that I've accomplished in the decade I've been in this space. My mouth hurts,
Yeah, man,
you
you've
talk.
been killing it for a while. You've been killing it for a while. Can you hear me okay? I was having some issues with my little mute button.
Yeah, actually, I saw in the chat they say Miggy has a slight echo. That echo is because I don't have headphones in, because I just realized right before we went live, my aux cord is destroyed by my kittens. So I'm going to have to get a new aux cord tomorrow before our live stream. Which, I guess we should mention, we'll be doing this every weekday, Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, and usually we'll have a guest. We're going to be reaching out to projects that we met in ETH Denver, projects that we met at NFT NYC, and projects that we keep meeting as we keep going to these events, and we're going to bring them on the podcast, talk about what they do, and how what we're doing in Asvoria could be beneficial. If, there's collaboration, stuff like that, we're going to be talking to projects that we meet on the air, just speculating how we could be involved, with their project, Web3, and things moving forward as they do.
Yeah, we'll be looking to see how we can help build this Voria and, get to tell everybody about some cool projects that we run into. Because there's a lot of stuff happening in the space, and it's hard to keep up with everything. Yeah. And so we're going to try to, get a pick and choose and show, what we find along the way that you might not have heard of yet.
Yeah, dude, ETH Denver had a plethora of things I haven't heard of, and as soon as I did, it was insane. I guess we could talk a little bit about ETH Denver, because we were going to start this podcast right after ETH Denver, but unfortunately, I am solely to blame. I got COVID. I was sick for like 3 weeks after after ETH Denver. I was pretty sick. I was definitely stuck in my bed for 2 weeks, and then the next week was like brain fog. I feel like I was always in the state of mind where I just woke up. Everything was just so foggy all day long. So we didn't get into the podcast, and I figured why start it like 5 days before NFT NYC. So we waited till after NFT NYC. But ETH Denver was amazing. If you want to talk a little bit about that, Miggy, I know you got yourself a lucky one-of-one suitcase from the Avagachis. We talked to them a little bit about Web3, Avagachi Metaverse, and Asvoria. Do you want to talk a little bit about your experience at ETH Denver real quick, and then I'll jump into mine?
Oh yeah, that was pretty awesome. I always love going to ETH Denver. This was my, I think, third or fourth year getting to go. And, getting to go along with you and the rest of the team was pretty awesome because, getting to share that experience is definitely the better part of it. But we did a lot of cool stuff, it was a big event, a lot of people there. I think they ended up having, again, like around 25, 30,000 plus people go
Felt
through
like
there.
it.
A lot of cool things that they brought, not just booths with a bunch of swag, but a lot of projects that we're building.
NFT thing.
Oh yeah, I still got that. And that's the other one. It's back there. I'll have to grab it, but it's a Buffercorn hat that has the NFT. They had clothes with NFT in it for merch.
Yeah.
They had
People were
RFK
wearing
there.
NFTs. Like that was to me the
Yeah.
coolest part of ETH Denver was like 50% of the attendees had physical swag on that was an NFT if you like tapped your phone to it or whatever.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I definitely need to look into that and check out the NFT and see what it was because I think they had everything attached to September too. And then the Avagachi gang was there. Got to link up with those guys. They actually pretty were probably like the best booth at Eat Denver. They had everybody there. They were doing these cool, spin boards, giving away a bunch of cool prizes, and then they were doing raffling where they had everybody come at the end. So there was like large groups of people coming in to win big prizes like sweaters and cool stuff like that. And I was able to get a one of one Avagachi suitcase from one of the members that made it. He gifted me with this bag with the on the pre-course that I could take it with me and make sure that I have it, at the events and stuff. And so it's been fun to take. I got to bring it to NFT NYC, but that suitcase honestly was probably my favorite thing that I got to do and got to get at the whole event.
Yeah, do you want to talk a little about your Buffacord and its adventures and how that started a little bit? Because that is in its own right
Oh,
like a
yeah.
documentary waiting to happen.
Yeah, this is true. So for those who don't know about like ETH Denver, it's an Ethereum-based conference. Their mascot is a buffacorn. It's like a buffalo unicorn hybrid. And the first year I went in 2022, I think. At the end of the conference, they were giving away these buffacorns to like builders that had or people that had building passes because they were there, working the or not working the event, but doing the hackathons. And one of my friends had left a day early, John Stokes, and he gave me his builder pass the day before he left because there was like a big party coming up, and you needed either like a VIP or a builder's pass. So he gave me his, and I was at the last event, and they were ended up giving out the buffacorn. So I ended up getting one, and I ended up taking it with me to every event for like a year, and taking it to go take pictures with, like influencers. Went to like booths, did like all like
I
random
feel like the
stupid stuff.
Buffacord is an influencer now. He needs its own Twitter account.
I have so much content, like videos, pictures. I have a picture of it like pretending like to take a shower, stuff like that. Asleep in the bed at the hotel. I have so much stuff some content that I need to upload, and it's gonna have its own page. So look out for the Buffacorn Instagram and Twitter, the Asvorian Buffacorn. So we'll have to make its own little avatar or something because it is its own celebrity, dude. It's insane.
It is insane. That's why I wanted to make sure you covered it. And I just want to say real quick to the chat, I see Steve R82 and TNC. It's just good to see some of the old school bros coming out. This is my first time doing a live stream in a long time. Like I mentioned earlier, I took a bit of a hiatus, for mental health and personal well-being, and I'm back. And to see these OG bros who have been there for years, man, in the chat, they're here, and it just makes me want to cry. I'm so happy. So thank you for tuning in, guys. For me though, ETH Denver was I like all right. So I've been in this space a lot. I told you I've been to like over 300 conferences. I told Miggy this was my first ETH Denver, didn't I? Yeah, I get there,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I'm glad you went.
Justin Wu walks up and he's like, "Bro, I haven't seen you since like the last ETH Denver," and I was like, "Wait, I was here." I was like, I was at an ETH Denver before. He was like, "Dude, you're at the first one. I can't believe you forgot." And I'm like, "Bro, I've been to hundreds of conferences. Like, I genuinely cannot remember where I've been until sometimes people remind me." So I do remember that ETH Denver actually, because I got to go to a really cool cannabis club called I Bake Denver, and I got them to start accepting crypto for their cannabis club memberships. Which was really cool because I didn't have any cash or whatever. I was like, I want to pay for a membership, and I talked them into taking my crypto, and they started doing that at the register. It was really cool. But yeah, ETH Denver, this run for me, I think that my biggest takeaway was the community open media center. Like, bro, they had like Fox News, CNN level media set up, and they were letting anybody in the community sign up to take advantage of using that equipment, the time, the space. Obviously the attendees, right? So you have like hostages of conversation, literally people that have
Oh,
to go and talk on camera with you because it's their freaking job. So if you ask, hey, you want to go talk about your project, they literally cannot say no. And you had this like $1 million media setup down there. It just, to me, that was like, I've been to Consensus, I've been to Money 2020, I've been to these like, you know, really big conferences where they only do that for the mainstream media, and that's it. Like the crypto media has to go around and like go screw themselves, figure it out. But ETH Denver made like everything they could do. It was like fully community oriented. Like it was like the more community you are, the higher your status was. It wasn't like how much money you have. It's like how much do you contribute to the community. All right, boom, you're up on this pedestal. And that is what like I took away from ETH Denver was like the more you contribute into that community, the more you can get out. And I saw that tenfold with a lot of people who were, you know, working it and contributing in that sense, volunteering and like grinding it, and made a lot of connections, a lot of networking. So I guess like my advice to you guys is if like you're in the Denver area, you might not be able to afford a ticket or whatever, like you could always become a volunteer, you know, checking people's badges, just picking up a couple cups of, you know, people leave bottles of water laying around, stuff like that. Like, and while you're doing that gig, you can go to booths and get information and then have side conversations and stuff. So I just thought it was really cool to see that they had like the volunteer aspect of it, like really involved in the conference. Not so much like NFT NYC. Me and Miggy went around NFT NYC and we were asking the employees, the event staff, security, if they knew what an NFT was or if they had any crypto. And
right.
I think not one of the event staff said they were into crypto, right? I didn't find anybody. Did you?
No, they were pretty outside of the circle. I mean, I don't know if they had necessarily had any interest, but I don't think anybody like has tried to get them involved at all. They just kind of were there to work, and that was pretty much it. But it
Yo,
would have been
Sim,
cool to get them
shitcoin
involved.
billionaire, how goes it? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just seeing all these
No, you're
brobos
good.
in the chat. Cryptic crypto, what up, dude?
That's cool. Oh, that's funny. That's
Yo,
my
so
page,
I guess we
actually.
could talk a little bit about NFT NYC. We're about 20 minutes into the live stream. NFT NYC, RIP. Miggy, you want to take it from there, bro? RIP NFT NYC.
Man, I think, you know, it's easy to say, and, you know, enough people will probably agree with me that, you know, the event space is pretty, is just struggling right now. And even, you know, we're seeing it in the big ones. And as much as I love NFT NYC and, you know, what they've been able to accomplish over the years, I think there's a lot of things that they're overlooking and maybe, you know, need to take a chance to take a step back to kind of see where they really want to go, you know, so they can really be long lasting. Because, I mean, it was definitely very underwhelming going. I honestly really expected it to be like it was when I went in 2022 and 2021 when I went with you
It
those
was
2
more
years.
like 2018, 2017 when I went. Like, it was like the first NFT NYC there ever was. It was like that. Because I was at the first NFT NYC, and it did feel eerily similar, bro.
Yeah, it was crazy. And it's not that I don't like, you know, honestly, the size that it ended up being is something that I do think is more suitable, and that I think is really where most events should go to, you know, especially the bigger ones where they should kind of break up into, you know, smaller events throughout the year instead of like a one giant one, or something. I don't know, but I like the size of it personally. It just, I was expecting a much bigger event because that's what, you know, it was shown, and that's what I've known. And
Well, you
uh
pointed something out really important to me, and I would like you to maybe talk about that a little bit, about how there was maybe like one or two booths that were even like projects a year ago.
oh yeah, and that's one thing that I noticed, that a lot of the sponsors and, you know, the platinum sponsors, the big projects that came, the brands that have been at NFTNYC over the years, pretty much none of them were there.
No,
There
none
was
of them were there.
there was
No, none of them were there.
yeah, there was only one recognizable project, and that was the Mintable
Yeah,
booth.
Mintable was the only one I
Um,
recognized.
and everybody else was like a new project, or, you know, somebody maybe never knows, a brand new in the space, but new at least to that. event space that I've known. Not to say that I know every project I've been to events, but I mean, just like you, I mean, we went to a lot of events together.
Yep.
We spoke to a lot of people, and I don't know if I'd exactly remember each and individual one, but I recognize projects. I would definitely remember like, oh yeah, these guys were here last year because I probably talked to them, and
Yep.
there nobody, was familiar. They were all brand new, and it wasn't very many of them to say. But the worst part of it all, I guess, if anything to really nitpick on would be the price. Like with it being as intimate as it was, and at least on the booth side and the spot where everybody was, the community area. I would have expected maybe some more accommodating pricing and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Maybe
for the
one for
audience, if you
speaking,
guys
one for
don't
the
know, their
booths.
tickets were over $700 for general admission, and that was half off at the door. So it was like a $1,400 or $1,500 ticket just to get in the door and walk around and be allowed to breathe the same air as us. Like that's fucked up.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
was a little crazy.
So
And
I guess we could let everybody know, like, you snuck in. Like, I had a ticket, I was invited. But the only reason I had a ticket and the only reason I was invited is because I snuck into the first NFT NYC. Jody, who's the founder, and Cameron ran into me. We kind of got exposed for being. I snuck in, I got exposed, and they took care of it. They gave me a ticket. I ended up on stage. I was a speaker, and I've been invited back every year ever since. But my bro Miggy, this dude is a social engineer guru. He didn't have a ticket the whole time, but this is the thing. Like, they should have just had the event free. It should have been general admission free. Just walk in off the streets of New York and learn about crypto. And if you wanted the VIP experience, yeah, there's an upcharge. If you want a food and drink included, there's an upcharge. You want to go backstage and network with the speakers, for 20 minutes after they're off stage, like, upcharge. But general admission should have been free, and it was for Miggy.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely took a page out of your book, man, and just kind of winged it when I got there. And it was funny because I think I remember telling you like last year, I kind of finagled my way in again, which is I'm trying to, get my free VIP too.
That's
So,
all it takes. You just
but
got to keep getting in the back door. Eventually, they'll put a badge on you so they stop getting embarrassed.
yeah, exactly. But this year it wasn't as it was a little different getting in.
It was
I thought it was
almost too easy. It wasn't fun.
Yeah, it was more of a mental challenge at first, but then, once you kind of like got there and figured things out, it just, and the funny thing was that getting in there was really just by accident, because like we thought that the area we were at was just the lobby area. And
Yeah,
so
actually,
like we
genuinely,
didn't even
just
mean to get in. We just thought, I thought this was just where the hangout spot
accidentally
was.
snuck
Yeah,
in.
where it was just like the hangout spot where everybody was like just, oh, there's a few booths here, this is kind of just like the pre area where you just like meet and get your badges and
Yep.
just kind of chill.
I thought it was the lobby. Like,
Yeah. And so that we just walked, yeah, that's what cracks me up the most. Like I didn't even really mean to. It's just like, all right, we'll just hang out here until we figure things out. And then we went to the other floor to where speakers were at, where they were actually checking passes. I was the only one that they didn't even really
bro,
bother to
we
check.
can talk about. All right, so we get up this escalator, which is like a mile-long escalator in New York City. Like, the escalator goes up, and you're standing on it for 5 minutes. You could listen to an entire Beach Boys song before you go from the floor to the ceiling, right? So we get up at the top of the escalator, and there's this thing. I posted it on Twitter. If you guys want to check it out, it might still work. You can mint an NFT postcard from NFT NYC. But it was like right there. I was like, I wonder if it's geo locked, right? Like, if you're not here, they're not going to just let anybody in the world mint an NFT saying they were at NFT NYC. That would be silly. And then I posted the picture, and apparently, yes, you can. But the event staff saw that, and they noticed it, and the event staff was like, yeah, there's no way they geo lock that QR code. Like, if you're in Japan, you're going to be able to mint that. And she was right. She was right. They did not lock it, but she was asking people for their badges as they walked by her, while me and Miggy were talking to her about the QR code not being geo-locked. Dude, that to me is a memory I'm a hold, because that was too funny. Like, because she was like, oh, where are your badges? Oh, you guys got to go back down. And meanwhile, we're just like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I really like that because yeah, because you're literally just sitting
Well, we
right
were
next to
social. We were talking to the
it.
staff. We were talking to security. We were getting to know.
Right,
Like one of the security guards remembered me from every year I've ever been there. He's like been NFT NYC security, so like he
right.
recognized me, and he was like, "Bro, this might be the year I finally get in." And I was like, "No shit, dude. I've been trying to get you in for like 5 years now."
That's pretty funny. Yeah, maybe next year he'll, find his way in there.
So I guess we could talk a little bit about like networking, mingling, how we were going and approaching projects, getting to know a little bit what they do, and telling them what we do and how we can work with them. Is there any project that kind of stood out to you when you were walking around talking about like Web3, Metaverse, Asvoria?
Man, honestly, even though it wasn't as big of a turn as I expected, it was still quite a bit, quite a few projects that I thought could really benefit from what we have, going on.
Yeah, like the
Um,
Chiba Pets,
I did like the Chiba Pets a lot and the energy drink one as well.
NFT
Uh,
Energy. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and especially the what was the one? Oh, the dang it, I can't. The game, the Sinverse.
Oh, Sinverse,
That
bro.
was a good one.
Sinverse looks
Yeah,
sick.
that was a good one. Um, and also the what was the other one? I can Oh, the platinum sponsor one, the art, the one that they did that big
What the fuck
installation.
was their name, dude?
I remember the here. I'm gonna have to look it up because I can't
Yeah,
remember
I
it.
they definitely need a marketing team because the name forgettable easily, but like what they're doing. Oh no, it was Nifty NFTY 3.0. That was the name of their documentary. Nifty
Oh
3.0
yeah, that's right.
documentary.
Yeah, okay, that's
Or
right.
is
And then
it
there was other one.
NEFTY? NEFTY? NFTY? Something like that, 30.
I think it
But
was
either way,
30.
there's so
Yeah,
many NFT things, and NFT this, Nifty
NFTY
that, Nifty
30
blocks,
dot.
Nifty gateways. They need a better name because what they were up to is some cool shit, man. They got the world's first documentary that talks about AI, blockchain, and NFTs. We know NFT the movie made a documentary. We're in it, but they never published it. They could have been the first NFT documentary, but they've been sitting on the content for like 3 years.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see this one, which would be pretty cool. The team seemed really nice and like they have a lot of great things that they're doing, and
Yeah, so we got to
that's
get them like a movie theater in Asvoria Metaverse to like have their metaverse premiere of the documentary. They premiered the documentary in the real world at NFT NYC, but it's a metaverse documentary, right? You have to premiere it in the
right.
metaverse, and Asvoria is going to have like that real estate for them to have that movie theater esque feel where instead of watching it on YouTube at the live chat like this, you'll be able to sit next to people and like rub elbows and have like that like perspective of front row, back row, middle seat. And that's the experience, that visceral experience that the metaverse can provide.
Yeah, especially like, using their they had that art installation which they said was one of the largest physical pieces of art that was NFT'd. We could put that giant drake that they made
Do
or
you know how
tapestry
long
they
it
made in
was?
the
I didn't get the
metaverse.
info from them, but it looked as big as a football field. It looked like it was like
It
a
was
hundred
pretty
yards
long.
long.
Yeah, for everybody who wasn't at the event, it was in the main center part of the venue, and it just like went from the floor all the way up to the ceiling, and then draped down and looped, and it
Yeah, it
was
was
a giant
huge. It was like the
abstract art
biggest canvas
installation.
I've ever
It-
seen in my life.
yeah, it was really cool, and we could put that in the metaverse and have that be a part of our world. So, and okay, so I forgot about the other guys. LimeWire, they were one
Oh,
of my favorite.
LimeWire, yo, tell them what's up with LimeWire, bro. What the fuck are they doing at an NFT event? Why is LimeWire at NFT NYC of all places? Those dudes should be in prison, shouldn't they?
Well, I guess from what we learned, their IP was bought by some new group, and they went to revamp LimeWire. So they've launched a token like a couple years ago, or recent. No, they launched a token recently, but they've started this campaign a couple years ago that they launched with like Soldier Boy, who they hired as their advisor, who's making their music too. and now they have a token that they're working on. I'm not really quite sure what their metaverse or Web3 or blockchain project is, but I just know this is the real LimeWire IP, and they have a token that apparently you can farm just by tweeting and using the correct tags. So the tags will link with whatever AI bot that they're using on Twitter and online. And every time you tweet and that that's comments and likes, you'll be able to farm their token.
Yeah, I always
But I
think
don't know what
stuff
their
like
token's
that makes
for yet.
sense, dude. Because like when I saw BitTorrent do the BitTorrent token thing, it made sense to me because I've always used torrents. I used Napster when it first came out. I'm surprised my parents weren't part of the Metallica, lawsuit because I was downloading Metallica for sure. And guess what? Half of those albums were really Soulja Boy relabeling his album, and I'm just getting hit with Soulja Boy even though it said Metallica. I know everybody got hit with that shit. So it was cool to see that they're still talking and working with Soulja Boy. That dude is a guru when it comes to guerrilla marketing. The dude's a genius. I love that. Like, I'm scammer or not, that
Right.
is always going to be up for debate when it comes to Soulja Boy. That's just in the nature of the battlefield he likes to live in. But when it comes to guerrilla marketing, there's nobody on planet Earth that is better at it than Soulja Boy. There
Yeah.
isn't. I cannot go back in history and find
Right.
you a better. Maybe the dude from Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey. That dude was a pretty good marketer. I don't know if you're familiar with Ringling Brothers and his up story, but yeah. Anyway, like,
funny.
see LimeWire, and it's just like, leeching and seeding. I'm downloading a movie or music, and I don't want to seed it, so it's like I want to get the movie. I could use tokens for that, It's like, hey, let me get some extra bandwidth. Boom, here's 10 cents. Like, I got that,
Yeah.
and they're just taking that whole seeding, leeching, monetization thing, and then community gamifying it all, like you said, with the engagement reward systems that they've built in.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
I'm
great.
hyped for LimeWire.
I know, me too. Also, just so everybody knows, I will be doing LimeWire sponsored giveaways. Uh, I have LimeWire hats
This is true.
to give away. So this will be sponsored by LimeWire. I'll be giving away hats. I have about maybe a dozen almost. Only like 3 snapbacks. The rest are like the clip and it like has its cloth attached, so you have to like
Yeah, the
tighten
pull
it.
tie.
Yeah, that one. So I'm gonna do those first, and the last ones I'm gonna give away are the actual snapbacks because I value those more. But I have like a dozen of them, dude. So
Yeah, so if you
LimeWire
want to give
sponsored
Mickey your
giveaways.
personal address and dox yourself, he'll mail you a hat and have your address forever.
Oh yeah, I might have to say the only national. I'm sorry, international shipping is expensive. And
Maybe they'll
even
pay for
hats.
it. What if they'll pay for the shipping, bro?
Okay, if you win and you're international and you want to pay for your shipping, yes, I will let that option. But if you don't, then don't play the
Dude,
game.
that's like such a retro throwback, bro, to have like, it's like, I don't know, it's like a
Hats.
Raiders jersey. You know what I mean? You see somebody wearing a Raiders jersey in 2024, it's a little
Sure,
weird. You're
yeah.
like, are you coming here from the 90s?
That's funny. Should I get one of the hats? They're like back there.
You got to get a Raiders jersey and wear the LimeWire hat, bro.
Yeah.
And get a pair of like Reeboks, like the old school classic Reeboks.
Well, yeah, that's funny.
Looking like a time traveler. Oh,
Yeah,
one of the
that would
projects
be
though
really
that
good.
I was most excited about talking to when it comes to Web3, metaverse, avatar stuff like that was Myra. We met a dog
yeah.
on the blockchain. Shout out to Myra. She's
Yep.
got like whiff level like market cap or something. Like people are going nuts over this dog, and we got to meet her at the event. She has her own fan base, literally has her own following. Like people, the dude whose dog it is was being ignored by people who just wanted to meet the dog. It was that funny, bro. It was like he went to shake someone's hand and they just went past it to pet the dog's head. Bro, hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, and it's on Solana blockchain, right? That's what the token.
Yeah, he's on. Yes,
Or, yeah,
Myra's
also
on the
token.
Solana blockchain, and I talked to him about using our Unreal Engine technology to create an avatar. So so Myra can not just be like on the blockchain, but like be in the blockchain.
Right, exactly. And with the AI training, they could make it respond in bark and
Oh yeah, you
maybe.
tell her to sit, she can sit, or maybe 1 out of 5 times she'll listen. Like with AI, like people think AI is only going to be used for like human likenesses. It's already being used in video games for like Deer Hunter and stuff like that. Like there's AI in those games that it's like you step on a twig, but the wind's blowing the right. Like all these different variables go into the AI to say like, well, would the deer have heard you? Would the deer have smelt you? You know, like when you cocked your rifle back, would it have heard you and ran? Like all that's in. So
Right.
animal AI is definitely going to be something I want to keep like our focus on when it comes to Asvoria, because like with video games and stuff like that, like NPCs, they're not just going to be human like avatars. They'll be animal like avatars that use AI technology to be just as valuable in the game space. You know, like you find an NPC that's a dog, it won't be like playing in a in like Resident Evil or something where like the dogs are like dumb dog, like you can walk through a barrier and it just can't jump. Just
Right.
it will be smarter. So that's what I'm excited about, to have like and you're gonna want to like, what if your AI Myra dog is like so well trained because you interact with this AI that it's like the most obedient version of Myra.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know. Like
absolutely.
service animals on the
I like
blockchain.
it.
Like, could you imagine having like a service dog, or like like if you have anxiety or something, you could have
Oh
like your
my
metaverse
God.
animal with you in the metaverse.
You could be blind and in the metaverse because your service dog will bark whenever the people need
And
you.
not even that, it could translate what's being like seen
Yeah,
in
dude.
front of you. Like a lot of the stuff for your iPhone, if you turn it into the viewing impaired option, if you're blind, the screen,
Oh,
if you
right.
touch
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
talks to you and tells you, it
That's true.
navigates you.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right.
That's
Yes,
cool.
a seeing eye dog in Asvoria is absolutely possible.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. And I was talking to somebody about this before. Anybody, don't steal this idea, which you probably can't anyways. But like creating like a, digital photo album, photo book, like you said, like you and not just you can have your animals recreated in the metaverse, but also become like NFT, so that way you could have digital files of them. To pass along for your family, so your great grandchildren be like, oh yeah, that was, great grandma's dog, or whatever,
Dude,
and that's
and
not a
also you can interact. They can interact with us, right? So like,
yes, and they
all
can play
we
with
can
your
do is
great grandma dog.
I can look at my family book and see like my great whatever, until like cameras didn't exist, right? But I don't know if they were assholes. You know what I mean? But like my
Right.
great nephew or grandson or whatever that might be the lineage, when they come to interact with me in the metaverse, they're gonna get sarcasm. They're gonna get like trolled. They're gonna get me, and they're gonna not just see me and get an idea like, oh, that's what he looked like. They're gonna get to know like, oh, he was funny. He's kind of a dick, but he was smart.
Yeah, that's so funny. But yeah, there was a lot of good partners
Oh,
there.
here's another one, bro. Bets.io. That dude was cool.
Oh, yeah.
First off, for being a multimillionaire, that dude was a definite bro on the floor. I like to
Yeah.
give respect to multimillionaires when they don't act like they're multimillionaires. And that guy, Bets.io, is a pretty successful platform. He definitely could have had an ego about him the way he was, but yeah, with the success of Bets.io, I was talking to him about, a metaverse casino where, it's not just me looking at the screen on my computer or on my phone where I'm just playing the same slot machine over and over again. But in a metaverse, if Miggy's hitting a slot machine, I can look over and see there's somebody there, right? He can get up and leave, go to a new machine, and if he didn't hit the jackpot, like I could go sit where he, like exactly what you do in a real casino, right? So it gives that visceral, and it scratches that social itch that a lot of people that go to casinos like to get. Like it's not just a gambling high. A lot of people go to the casino for the social aspects. The same reason
Oh,
people go to
right.
nightclubs to dance. You can dance in your home, right? You can gamble in your home now, right? Like but it's the going
Yeah.
out, all the things that come with that experience of like putting the quarter in and pulling it. The metaverse can provide that. And as Voria with the Web3 spatial web experience, it won't be a 2D where you scroll through their casino. It'll be a 3D where you stroll through the casino.
Right. No, exactly. And I mean, even same reason why people go out to go drink, instead of drinking at home. Like I'm the same way. I don't like if when I do drink, I don't really drink at home. If I drink, I want to be out like in the public, and
So
I think
peer
it's like,
pressure.
yeah, pretty. But I think with the metaverse, it'll be the same way. You know, people will just go into places just to interact, like, or maybe they just want to visit a space. And, you know, some people really just like walking around and enjoying the experience of being able to look around and being like, oh, yeah, you know, this is nice. And just, you know, ex be there and stuff. So, you know, gambling, though, in the metaverse, having a casino, I think will be definitely a big thing because, I mean, it's already a big thing now.
Yeah, dude, and
But,
it's just starting to get picked up by more
right.
states. Well, we're thinking
Yeah.
locally, like the United States, but it's like a global casino, right? So
Yeah.
locally, regulations, all that stuff's weird. But some states are now just starting to get into like sports betting. Where I think in New Jersey now it's legal, where you can like do sports betting, and you weren't allowed to do that for the longest time. People would just phone their friend in Vegas and be like, "Yo, go put a bet on for me." Like, but now you can. So I think like,
Right.
especially with the metaverse and spatial web stuff, Web3 casinos. I think local law, legislation may change to be more global when it comes to that because
Right.
there's only so much like geolocking, laws on the internet can do with a VPN. It's too easy to break the rule for the repercussions to be as severe as they are, right? You got to make it at least harder for somebody to break your rule if the recourse is going to be so extreme. And if it is too easy to break your rule, the recourses can't be that extreme. So I think when we see metaverse casinos, we're going to see the hands of the legislators get tied up, and they're going to realize they can't just keep geo-locking, freedoms. And that's what we're seeing. There's a lot of geo-locked freedoms in the world. I did want to talk
Yeah.
about Meta Intro,
Oh, yeah.
METAINTRO, Meta Intro, and
Meta
they're looking
intro.
for you, everybody. If you're listening, Meta Intro's looking for you, and you're welcome. I'm telling you, they are building Web3 resumes. Like NFT, blockchain based, like immutable resume references, past work experience, like all this stuff is evolving right now. And if you want to get a job in this space, definitely check out Meta Intro.
Yeah, they were pretty cool. And I mean, I've seen a few people do this, and I think they did something in Denver where they were working with another group that's similar. But they've been doing a good job of like finding companies that are looking for people with Web3 experience.
Or even
And, you
just
know, they
community experience. You can manage
right.
your mod, a Discord, a Telegram. If you could write articles, create content. If you're good at consulting, advising. If you're good at on ramping, things like that. All these
Yeah.
projects have a serious need for what you would consider a remedial gig. If you know anything about
Right.
crypto, you might think, "How's this a job?" But it's a job. So much more than 99% of the people on planet Earth. There's like 8 billion people on Earth that don't know how to make a wallet still. And
Yeah.
you do. And you can get paid for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they can help you really kind of fine tune and help you figure out, what it is exactly your
Yep.
skill set is,
Exactly. They'll
because
find the
there's a lot
job
of
for
things you
you so
might
it's
be able
not
to
so
do in
nerve wracking.
Web3, right? But sometimes you may not be sure exactly what you can do, and they'll help you figure out, okay, this is what you can do, this is where you might fit. And then they have people who will be like, all right, these are maybe the companies that are looking for that, and they can help you put a resume together and help you get organized, and then help you be on the search for, hey, I'm looking for these kind of companies to work for, maybe this kind of salary range, like get specific and stuff like that. But they're really cool. I do like that because for somebody who's been in the space over a decade, one thing that was hard for me, and the reason why I was kind of so separated from everything, was because like I wanted to get a job. I wanted to learn as much as I could so I could be employed and do something that had to do with blockchain. And it was really hard to find work because I didn't know where to look. And I mean, honestly, at the time, nobody else was really looking to hire. But even, after, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, it's like, I don't even know where to begin. How do I find a place that I could put my skills, apply my skills to their company? Because, I can do a lot of things, but I don't know where I could find a job that's looking for a skill set that I
It's
have.
almost like I can't believe they're gonna pay me for this.
Yeah, exactly. And struggled for a bit. And luckily when I met you and we went traveling, to events, and NFTs really popped off and more companies were looking, I was able to connect more. But that was a struggle for a long time, was not having a place to go to. Like if there was something like this where I could be like, oh cool, let me look for a job and see what kind of jobs there are. Maybe there's a job that I like, but
Yep.
I can't really do yet. So I'm gonna actually try to learn about that, or find a way to get educated so I can learn enough to get in that job set, or see if I need any experience first of all. But if I do, learn a little bit about what I want to do and then get the job or something like that. Or start with like you said, maybe a smaller job of community management. Hey, we need somebody in our Discord. Cool, let me do that and just learn as I go and then move my way up so I can be a part of the team, which I've seen people do that plenty of times. This is how I started. When I was working with you, I was in your Telegram chat all the time, and then became a community moderator, and then ended up helping with shitcoin and traveling with you for like a year and shit like that.
Yeah, dude. It feels like it's been 2 lifetimes and I'm still not dead yet. I feel greedy.
Right.
I do want to talk a little bit about gimmicks. NFT NYC is no exception. Every single conference has its gimmick, something that will stand out more than me in church. It's a gimmick. You're like, oh, that's a fucking gimmick right there. It's like, to me, it's a short indicator usually. Think last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but NFT NYC last year, because that's the year I missed. The only time I wasn't at NFT NYC, they had Not Drake, right? It was like Not Drake there, and everybody thought it was the real Drake they were taking pictures with.
I think there was something that happened.
Something like that. I could be
yeah.
wrong because again, I was out of this space for a little bit, but that actually hit regular news. Like I'm watching TV like a normal person, and I see crypto conference, Not Drake or something. I'm like, this is hilarious. This time at NFT NYC, it was not the president or something. I don't know what to say this one, but the Squid Grow. Those guys with the Presidential Secret Service, dude, that was such a gimmick.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody liked it the way that they want. Like everybody was like, "That's kind of obnoxious. Like it's annoying." The dude was closing the bathroom down just so he could take a shit by himself. Like it was beyond obnoxious. It wasn't funny anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, it just nobody really. I didn't really know what the project was or what they did.
I couldn't talk to him because he had Secret Service.
And then you couldn't really take pictures.
Every time I wanted to talk to the guy about his project, some dude with a fucking assault rifle would stiff arm me and tell me no.
Yeah, it was cool. It was pretty a little
so stupid, bro. Like nobody got to talk to the dude.
Yeah, it was kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people that we were making friends with everybody that had a booth. I feel like every single person that went home from that conference, if they had a booth, we were the people they're gonna remember.
Went to everybody. Yeah, I hope so, because I mean, we were there. I think we made an impression.
We were there at 9 a.m. and it didn't start till 10, dude. We left at 7 and they kicked people out at 6.
Exactly, and I think we gave it a lot of people our attention, which is what they're there for.
But those people kept asking me, who is that guy? What's up with that guy? What's that project do? And it was so many people. I guess that was the gimmick, right? To get the people asking questions. But they never got an answer.
Intrigued and be like, whoa, what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, oh, cool. Squid Grow's cool. I know Wendio and Tintin Tina and them, they're in the community, but
yeah,
it's like
it was definitely, I mean, I was definitely intrigued. It was crazy though, to see that level of presidential security. I would definitely believe it for Wendio for sure if that was her security.
Yeah, that should have been her security for sure. Give her the security. But I just thought that was the gimmick from this event. There's always something gimmicky. I guess the gimmick from ETH Denver was the physical NFTs. Like everybody, t-shirt, shoes, hat, whatever, hoodie, everything, onesies, even their onesie, everything was an NFT. It's kind of a gimmick. But it was like a practical gimmick. It was cool. There was bugs, glitches. Some people got stuff that didn't have NFTs because the thing didn't work. It wasn't perfect, but it was a functional gimmick. This was just an annoying gimmick that I think hurt them more than it helped them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I will see, what they do at the next event, and maybe they'll tone it down a little bit.
A little bit. Maybe one security guard instead of 6.
Yeah, or at least just keep the mask on and keep that mysteriousness
Right?
where
My
it's like,
bro who launched Pied Piper coin, he was a multimillionaire. He didn't have private security. He just wore a mask and went on stage and talked about Pied Piper coin after Silicon Valley did it. He did like that's the kind of dude who probably could have used some security in all honesty when we were in Canada. Probably could have, but even he didn't have. So it's just like, and you know what? And that's the thing with the security gimmick is like you'll walk around a conference, you'll see Charlie Lee, Brock Pierce, Roger Ver, Andreas
right,
Antonopoulos. All these people do not have security with them. They are
right.
amongst friends and family. They know that if you start shit, there's 900 people within arm's reach that are going to tackle you. They don't have to pay nobody to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you know like who's the real OG and who's
Yeah. That
who's
was the
just faking
gimmick, I guess,
around.
right? They wanted to put out that impression. But I do, before we wrap
Yeah.
things up, we're coming close up on the hour. I do want to have a chat real quick about the Pizza Dell party and what Pizza Dell is up to, and the Pigeons of New York yacht party and what they're up to. You're more familiar with the Pizza
Yes.
Dell. If you want to touch on that and let people know a little bit about how they operate and the party that we attended.
So Pizza Dow, great group. They work with Rare Pizza, which I'm hoping at some point we could talk with them to connect and also find a way to bring them into what we're doing. And hopefully, if they decide to be on Solana, they can use the launch pad that is Worry's creating to launch their own token on Solana. But so, long story short, what they do is they raise money, they throw pizza parties. So, for those who may not be familiar, what they typically celebrate is the Bitcoin Pizza Day. It's the day that somebody a long time ago spent some Bitcoins on pizza. And so that day is celebrated every year, and they actually throw pizza parties, throughout the year. But every year for Bitcoin Pizza Day, they throw like a large party across the country. So they pretty much activate everybody that they have around the country who's throwing parties for them on Bitcoin Pizza Day. But for events and stuff that they attend, they'll usually get up some money together from a DAO and throw a big party, have lots of pizza, have music. They'll bring in, maybe some sponsors and other projects that want to, kind of share what they have going on. But it's always just a fun time, They're just about, building community, getting together, having fun, eating great pizza, and just mingling and hanging out. Like there's really nothing else. They have an NFT collection or whatever, but that's pretty much all they do is spend money on pizza parties, to bring people together. And it doesn't matter who they bring together, whether it's just a group of community or vendors or whatever, but they just throw pizza parties and that's pretty much it. And we got to go to the one in Denver and New York, and it was awesome for sure. I love the
Yeah,
pizza
shout out
parties,
to
dude.
the Pizza Dell. They were a sponsor of the first shitcoin. And I'm happy that they're still here, thriving, like literally thriving right now. And it's all just like Miggy said. They just use a DAO to raise community funds. They vote on who gets the funds to throw what parties and why, and that's really it. It's a decentralized pizza party. It's I mean, it's literally my inner child's wet dream of like technology use case for money. Like, wait, I can just be like, I want to throw a pizza party, give me money, and they're like, here's money, go
Yes.
throw a pizza party. That's like,
Yes.
okay.
I
Oh,
know.
who hooked us up with the aprons? What was their name?
That was the Chonk project. So they are actually on Solana too. Really cool guys. I connected with them. Hopefully, be able to bring them into what we have going on as well. But they're just like a meme token on Solana called Chonk, and they were selling those Chonk dolls. What I bought, the cat, which is actually has to do with the pea noodles as well. Chonk is a part of that
You can
too.
say pussy noodles.
Pussy noodles, all right. It's part of the pussy noodles
He
too.
said
But
pea
anyway,
noodles.
pea
That
noodles.
sounds grosser, bro.
But yeah, they had the chonk, and that was their
Somehow.
project. Was the chonk token or whatever. So they gave us aprons. I bought a chonk, and I'm gonna talk to them later about getting some metaverse stuff going on with Asboria and bringing them into our 3D spatial experience.
Yeah, shout out to the Chonkies, the fat cats over there. They hooked us up with aprons, and me and Miggy, we love aprons. I want to shout out the Pigeons of New York. That community is thick, thick. That is a thick community, bro. Like they showed up, and not only are they're like they're just a community of crypto enthusiasts in New York City that are using NFTs to like have a PFP like community, right? Like, oh, you got one of these, I got one of these, like, we're bro. Like, yeah, it's like when you walk up to somebody and they're wearing like a Supreme t-shirt and you have Supreme socks on, you're like, it's like that, but they all know what they're talking about. Like, the entire community has been like brainwashed into knowing what crypto is through the Pigeons of New York, like just being like this community-esque thing that just so happens to use crypto, right? It's like, it's more community using crypto, and these community members have learned crypto. I was on the yacht with Mickey for what, 5-6 hours, and everybody I talked to knew crypto something. It was so nice to be on like a yacht party at a crypto event and be able to talk about crypto, because I've been on many yacht parties at many crypto events and nobody on the boat knows what they're talking about. They don't know crypto. They're just here for more money. When Lambos? When can we buy a yacht like this? It was such a different vibe. So just shout out the Pigeons of New York. I really can't express enough like how much respect I have for Jim and his team that he put together, and the community that just showed up, man. Talk the talk and walk the walk, you know, even though they were dancing instead of walking.
Yeah, it was
I think
a
you
lot
guys
of
should
fun.
check
I like
them out.
that.
Honestly, they're cool. If you're in New York City, definitely give them a look. Check out their community, and if it's your vibe, join it. And I guess the highlights that wrap everything up. Me and Miggy, we got to smoke with Q-Bone, Snoop Dogg's personal chef. I was the only person on the yacht that sneaked some weed on, so we had some smokage, which is legal. It's legal. Don't get mad wherever you are in the world. You know, it's just like alcohol. It's legal. But we were being searched by security because there's celebrities on the yacht party, so they had like
they threw my
TSA
cookies
security.
away.
Yeah, and I hid the weed pen fairly well, and I ended up being able to bring it on the yacht, and nobody else had any cannabis, so a lot of the celebrities saw me puffing, and they came out. I didn't know who anybody was until somebody was like, "Yo," I think it was Russ. Russ was like, "Yo, you didn't that's Snoop Dogg chef Q-Bone." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, I know who that dude is. I seen him on YouTube. So we got to smoke with Q-Bone on the yacht party because we had the digital business card, you know. Also, TJ Miller roasted me. I did get the shout out as Voria, guys. I think I have a clip I can share.
Oh yeah,
I might have the audio, but as soon as he came up to me, I kind of put my phone down because they were filming a documentary. But yeah, he roasted me, and then I got to talk to him outside. I told him a little bit about my story, some funny stuff that isn't really funny. It's kind of fucked up, but it's funny if it didn't happen to you. So I told him my story, and I signed a release form. I did a verbal release on camera. I did the verbal release on the camera, so hopefully we'll see that in the documentary. But I did get to shout out as Voria at least one time while he was talking to me on camera. So my fingers are crossed. When they air that documentary, they don't cut out the part where I talk about how I'm a brand ambassador for Asvoria.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious.
We got through the hour, bro. We did our first live stream, our first podcast. We wrapped it up. Big shout out to Cryptic Crypto. Yo, not Joe Juice. How goes it? Yes, I am alive. Thank you to TC as well. Shitcoin billionaire. Love you, Block. Thanks for all the support. Tech Itch. Hey, it's Bros. Yes, it is. Steve R82. I cannot believe. I love seeing you here, man. It's like a nostalgic blast from the past. I cannot read your username, so I'm going to copy and paste it into the chat and just say thank you to that username, because that can't be read. My eyes don't know those things. Which is fucked up, because, like, you know what I mean? I feel like in school we should be learning more. We should be learning more, and at least how to read basic languages on planet Earth. I should have been able to get that by 9th grade. Maybe before I got out of high school, I could have been able to read at least 20 different languages on planet Earth. But no, they only want to teach you how to read one language on planet Earth for the 20 years you're being fucking educated. But yes, bro. Thanks. And Keen, yes, Keen, 2 E's, not 2 N's. That's awesome. I just want to say thank you all. Kevin Moore! Yo, Kevin! Kevin's Crypto. Shout out to Kevin Moore. Thank you for yo, dude, you popped in at the best time, man, at the end. I love you guys. You can find me at Kenneth Bosak on Twitter. Miggy?
Yep, you can find me at Crypto33Miggy at Twitter or X, whatever it's called now.
We'll see you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Peace.
Have a day.